campaign launch for independent candidate for Bonner, Patrick Kelly.
So please make him feel welcome today. Without further ado, here he is. Thank you.
Good afternoon, friends, family, and people of the Bonner community. This afternoon I stand before you as a member of the community, as a friend, as a candidate, but not as a voice. Today I stand before you as someone who wants to move forward, not stand still. As someone who wants to be the voice of this community, not someone who wants to join squabbling and rivalry inside of a party. Today I stand before you as someone from Bonner, not someone with a major party agenda. I have seen the Bonner community through both prosperous times and times of tragedy. I saw firsthand the devastation we suffered during the 2011 floods, a traumatic experience that this community could have done nothing to prepare for. But the people of Bonner fought, and they fought bravely. Together they came as a community in a way I've never witnessed before. I helped with the effort where I could, sandbagging and rebuilding, and it was my humble privilege to work alongside the people of this community. My path to aid began when I first joined the military at the age of 28. I was given a great sense of responsibility and duty, and I learned to work as a team. But after my first term in the military, I felt unfulfilled. And so at the age of 33, I became a United Nations peacekeeper. I saw during this time the unimaginable pain and suffering of people whose governments didn't value their well-being or their freedom. But in spite of all the misery they faced, they always picked themselves up and kept going, no matter the hardships. This, my friends, was a turning point in my life. I knew then I wanted to dedicate my life to making people's lives better. Like Neville Bonner, I want to use my experiences, both good and bad, to fight to make Bonner a better place, to fight to make Bonner a better place to live, and to think globally but act locally. And my policies are proof of this. My team and I have spent the past few months speaking with the community to understand the most relevant and pressing issues. We've identified that your main concerns were unemployment, health, multiculturalism, and education. My first plan of action is to lift the Bonner electorate out of its current unemployment crisis. The national average is 5.2% for unemployment, but at times in Bonner, our rate has been above this. I will ensure that no member of our community is left behind. This is disgusting, and the major parties have done nothing to help this sad fact. The Labour Party takes part in in-house tit-for-tat arguments about leadership, busy telling you the figures aren't that bad and that you need to suck it up. And the Liberal Party, they don't care. You yourselves have complained about their lack of presence over their last term. This doesn't create change. This is not in your interest. As a community, we need to support the unemployed. We need to get them back into paid employment. I will ensure that the cries of your electorate are heard and that they are addressed. I will ensure that those of you who have been on unemployment benefits for 6 months receive the opportunity to volunteer to increase your benefits and also to increase your experiences to make you more employable. I will ensure that the waiting time for job assistance agencies is slashed in half. I will make it easier for our students to get apprenticeships, and I will ensure that the people of Bonner are more employable. My second plan of action as a member of the Bonner community is to push for a world-class education system, something that the major parties have no concern for. My policies will ensure that all of our students get the extra help that they need and that they deserve. I will make sure that there is at least one full-time learning support teacher in every school in the Bonner electorate. Parents will no longer have to bear the stress of knowing whether or not their child is receiving adequate support to succeed. As a member of the community, we can rest assured that the Bonner is educating all of its children to to the highest standards. Under this scheme, no child will be left behind. The students of Bonner have a right to learn, and the teachers, they have a right to teach. Right now, though, teachers teach with the fear of reprisal. What is of the utmost importance is that teachers are not caught up in the bureaucracy that is forced upon them, that they are given the opportunity to help children succeed. I will make sure that this happens. We, as a community, need to make sure that all of our children can learn. We need to ensure that the bureaucrats do not keep our children down. We need to ensure that schools in Bonner have the right facilities and the right infrastructure to be of true world-class standard. Schools in Bonner, this is not acceptable, the current state of the schools in Bonner. Education is the key to our future, and Bonner will lead the future for change. My third plan of action is to ensure that Bonner embraces its own multicultural community. We have people from all cultures and creeds living here, and they all deserve equal opportunities. Australia is continuing its tradition of welcoming refugees into this country. These refugees are in need of humanitarian aid, and we, as a wealthy country, have a responsibility to help our fellow human beings. Once in Australia, refugees are a vulnerable group in our society, and they need support to find housing, to find employment, and to be culturally and socially accepted into our community. Non-for-profit refugee aid organisations play a huge part in making this possible. They see refugees as people, not as a statistic, like our government. And that is a message that we need to take to Parliament. If elected, ladies and gentlemen, I will make sure that non-for-profits receive the funding they need to continue their work and provide their services. I will support initiatives to increase the period of time they can receive funding for. I will make sure that long-term plans can be made to better the lives of refugees in our country. My fourth and final plan of action to make sure that Bonner residents have access to the healthcare that they need. This is a basic human right, and people, one that has been ignored by the previous governments. Wynnum Hospital is our central hospital. However, it's an embarrassment. Some of the other candidates sitting here today may not feel that improving Wynnum Hospital is worth time and money. However, I ask you this: is it fair that Wynnum residents have to travel an extra half an hour to 45 minutes to receive emergency care at the PA hospital? No. In an emergency situation, these parties gamble with your lives. The government has recently given the PA hospitals a $7 million funding package. Yet the Wynnum Hospital has received nothing. Ambulances are bypassing Wynnum Hospital because of their lack of available services. This is putting Bonner residents' lives on the line. I will lobby the federal government to provide $6 million funding grants to small hospitals, such as Wynnum Hospital, so that Wynnum Hospital can once again provide around-the-clock emergency services, something that has been lost in recent years due to a lack of funding. If you entrust me with your vote, I will refresh the Bonner community. Through my unemployment, education, multiculturalism, and health policies, I will help this community become a great community. By electing me, Patrick Kelly, independent candidate for Bonner, you can rest assured that I will fight tooth and nail. I will use my global knowledge to make local change. As an independent, I will make sure that your voice is heard. A vote for me is a vote for your voice. It's a vote for experience. It's a vote for hope. It's a vote for change. And above all, ladies and gentlemen, it's a vote for you. Thank you.